Well, it's a lovely and cold morning out here today, and it's time for one of our ladies to get a shot. So this lovely lady here is Martha, and Martha has a little bit of a thing. I think we've kind of determined that she's got foot rot on her front left leg that she's kind of avoiding, or at least not favoring as she walks. So we are going today to be giving her some medicine, but we're going to be doing it in a little bit of an easier way. So I was out here probably 2-3 days ago when I noticed it and started looking into what to do. And as it turns out, need to give the cow an antibiotic, and that's great. We don't like to give them lots of antibiotics or anything, and in fact, with going organic, we actually can't for anything that we're going to serve as organic. But none of these cows, because they've been out here on inorganic pasture and such, none of these cows are going to be considered organic anyway. So it's okay, and she needs it, so we still want to give it to her. So to give the cow the antibiotic, I was originally thinking, okay, well, we'll get them all up in the chute, get that one in, get that one, squeezed in the squeeze chute, held nice and still, and I'll give her the shot. That'll take a few hours just to, round them up and get everybody in there. But yes, I think we have a better way, and a far more fun way, to be fair. We're going to use a dart gun. So let's go get that thing ready. Now, debates go back and forth about dart gun versus, putting it in manually. You can certainly argue that putting it in manually, the positioning is probably going to be more accurate, but you really can't argue with the efficiency of the dart gun. Not having to bring the cows up, not having to get them in the chute and, play with all that and spend the time doing that. Just walk up to them in the field and bang, you get the antibiotic. Now, that's how it's supposed to work. This is my first time doing this, so you get to see how much I screw it up. Hopefully not too badly. So let's go get the gun, get that set up, get the dart filled up, and we'll get going. So this is what we're going to be using today. I actually borrowed this from a friend, but if this goes well, I definitely see a purchase of one of these in my future because I just really like this idea. Anyway, this is a 22 blank powered dart gun. You can get a lot of different ones out there. I guess there's your typical gas powered pump ones, but the 22 powered ones, I like the idea of better. Just because it's going to be more consistent. You have the same amount of power every time. It's going to be a much more consistent shot than, the pump guns, like your old BB guns and such. So the way this works, of course, you've got your bolt here that operates your chamber where your 22 blank goes. 22 blanks just get fed through this magazine in the bottom. And then you've got your dart chamber, which is a breech loader up here. You put your dart in, slide it all the way in, close the breech, close that up, and you're good to go. I actually don't want to at this point. I'm just going to take that out for the sake of safety when I close this. But you do actually have a regular safety back here as well. So we'll load it up and then we'll get it out there and see if I can't hit something today. So this is the dart that we're going to be using. And this is a 10cc dart. Certainly was larger than I expected it to be, but this is my first time using these. And we've already measured out our dose, 10 cc's. We're going to be using Draxxin here as an antibiotic. And to put it in, you just put that needle right on in there and push it in using the plunger here. I've already loaded this, so we're trying to keep this as, at least horizontal, if not vertical, preferably not upside down. We don't really want it to drain out before I get it in the gun. Once I get it in the gun, we're going to try to keep the gun pointed up as well, both for safety and to try to keep everything in here. So let's get it loaded up, get out there and see if I can hit this cow. Now when we do this, we are going to try to hit the cow in the neck. Just in front of the shoulders, behind the head, the neck area. Thankfully, it's a pretty good sized neck area and I'm not going to be real far away. But this is my first time doing this and my first time firing this dart gun ever. So I'm about, let's say 65% confident that I'm going to be able to actually hit something on the first try. So we're going to give it a shot, see how it goes. Good news is I have more darts and more antibiotic if I need to do this again. So here we go. Well, I know it wasn't the easiest thing to see in the camera because it's difficult to position the camera correctly when you have to move around to get the shot correctly with the gun. But either way, I'm pretty happy with that. We got in the neck, a little lower in the neck than I would have liked, but still we got in the neck. So that's good. And we'll see how she does over the course of the next week to 2 weeks. as that takes effect, hopefully everything clears up with her foot and she can stop limping and go back to her normal, happy, wonderful Martha self. Anyway, we got, of course, more projects coming up. We got a whole lot of trees to cut down because it looks like this is going to be the very fun year where we get actual electric utility power out here. So we got to do a bunch of stuff to make that happen. So we'll have a series of videos on getting our electric put in and such. That's going to be kind of exciting for this year. We tried to do it last year, but had some issues getting property easements and other sort of things lined up with some of the neighbors. We'll talk more about that another time. But at least it's happening this year. That's great. So we got that coming up. I got to make more equipment carts. I got to make the legs for my mineral feeder and get the mineral feeder put out here. I know I keep saying that, and I keep putting it off because of other things coming up, but that's life. So anyway, as usual, plenty to do out here. We'll see you soon.